The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Folks, welcome back to a very special video here on World Class Bullshitters. So, over the weekend, the DC Fandome event has taken place, and it's been a thing. So we're going to talk about that right now. Now, normally, the Monday videos, now that they're back, are me talking about some sort of topic, But I thought because the pop culture landscape is changing once again with DC at the forefront now, Marvel, keep up, I thought this would be the perfect way to talk about some of this shit. So I'm joined by Kendo and Nick. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Howdy, howdy.
And we're going to be talking about all the stuff that we have found from the DC Fandome. And if you guys watch this and you like this and you want to ask us specific questions, you can catch me on Tuesday night during the High Council or Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for World Class Bullshitters. And we're going to be talking about it over there live with you guys. So make sure that you catch us live, ask your questions, and let's make this community grow even further. So without any further ado, let's start off with a small little piece of news. So you guys remember the 90s, right?
Yes, very vividly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a pretty good time. We watched a lot of cartoons because we were kids.
Oh yeah, a lot of solid cartoons came out of the 90s.
Yeah.
So in the 90s, we had the evolution of the DCAU, the DC Animated Universe, that started out with Batman, then it took us to Superman, and eventually, when we got to the year 2000, we got a little show called Static Shock. You guys remember Static Shock?
That I don't.
Yeah, a little bit. I remember seeing it, but I wasn't really interested in it when it came out. I think it was like early 2000s. Yeah, but yeah, I think around that time I've kind of stopped watching as many cartoons as I usually did. So.
Now, I loved Static Shock. I watched the hell out of it, and it's getting a theatrical feature film currently as we speak. It's in development. So this is interesting, but not surprising. The reason I say it like that, not to sound too cynical or jaded, but based on the pop culture, based on the world we live in right now, pop culture choices are very deliberate from companies. You could almost say they're weaponized, but you can also say that they're opportunistic. And I think this is the perfect time to feature a Static Shock film. Because of the political climate, of course, studios are going to be more willing to develop this stuff, but as a 90s, early 2000s kid that liked this show, I'm excited. So this is from Variety. Now, all the stuff we're going to be covering is from major sources. So this isn't the speculation stream. This is the straight up, this is the news. Check it out. Get all your information from here. So Static Shock movie is in development as a theatrical feature. On Saturday, filmmaker Reginald Hudlin said that there's been a serious conversation about bringing the electric-powered teen hero to the big screen. Virgil Hawkins, a.k.a. Static Shock, was created by Milestone Media and DC Comics in the 90s and starred in the Kids WB series in the early 2000s. It received multiple Daytime Emmy Award nominations and still is highly regarded by fans as being one of the few superheroes starring a black character. As a fan that watched it back in the day, I didn't care that he was black. It was just a fun show. So there we go right there, though. In the second paragraph of this, well, technically third, I guess, we're already starting off with the identity politics stuff. So let's hope that this doesn't suck. That's all I can really say. I want this to be awesome because I will say that DC fucked up in the early 2000s, well, not early 2000s, I guess 2011 isn't that early, but when they redid the DC universe to the New 52, I bought Static Shock. That was one of the first titles that I got. And I gotta say, I wasn't impressed. I actually stopped reading it after the second issue because it was written very stereotypically and I hated it. So folks out there, if you're watching, don't read the New 52 Static Shock. You'll be disappointed. So we'll move on because there really isn't a bunch to say about Static Shock. But the way we're structuring this, folks, is we're going to do smaller stories and lead into the bigger stories. So for those watching that are wondering how we're going to structure this, up next, as in right now, is Wonder Woman 84. Now, there was a trailer for this at the DC Fandome event, and it was, we're going to talk about that right now. Kendo. Well, actually, Nick and
Yes.
Kendo, we'll start back in 2017. Did you guys like the Wonder Woman film?
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was worried it was going to be woke, and it wasn't. It was good. There was a large portion of it that reminded me of Captain America for some reason, but that's just how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I thought Gal Gadot did a great job. Even though she apparently didn't hit the weight room as much as she should have. And it was a fun movie. It went a little longer and dragged a little bit. That should have been, maybe had some time cut out of it. But there was the parallels between it and Captain America. Not sure how those got there, but overall, I enjoyed the movie. It gave me hope for the DC EU again.
So now we're in the middle of this COVID crisis. Wonder Woman was supposed to have been out last month, back in July of 2020. But thanks to the crisis, we've been waiting for the film, and whatever. Now, based on previous trailers / information, how did you guys feel about Wonder Woman 84 / prior to this trailer? What did you think of what you've seen from Wonder Woman 84?
Obviously it's done in the 80s, and I was like, this is the last thing that they can do in the 80s, because it's that nostalgia has to end now, because it's 2020 and we're going into like the 90s nostalgia probably going to be the next thing.
My thoughts exactly, dude.
Yeah, so like when I watched the trailer, I was like, there's so much going on I don't understand. With the bad guy, with Kristen Wiig, and then Chris Pine's character coming back and everything, I was like, what is going on? And I had no idea, but I'll still probably watch it because I like the first one, so I'll give this one a chance for sure. So,
yeah, I was thinking a lot of the same. Yeah, I was thinking a lot of the same things and along the same lines of, okay, I'm not sure what this all has to do. Steve. I want to say Steve Rogers. It's not Steve Rogers. The fucking guy. It's his name. I can't think.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, well, him. Yeah, but I was trying to think of his damn character name, the one that
American flying dude. I don't know, whatever his name is.
Yeah, generic American pilot guy. So
there you go.
Steve Trevor. Yeah.
Wow.
I knew it was a Steve something. Steve Dave. It was Steve Dave. And so it was Steve Dave. Well, anyway, so yeah, they show like that's like the big reveal from that trailer is like. It's like, oh wow, it's really cool because it's got like a weird synthesizer beat from like the 80s, and it sounds kind of like that one really popular song in the 80s, but it's not. But it's just like, okay, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, as much of a mark for 80s nostalgia as I am, I'm kind of getting tired of everything being in the 80s. It's like the Stranger Things effect, where like they hang out with it. It was like the first big thing to take place in the 80s, and then suddenly everybody's like throwing their chips into the middle of the table of the 80s nostalgia, and it just got overdone way too much and too fast. So it's like, yeah, I hope this is the last big 80s nostalgia fest. I was thinking the exact same thing. Clearly no 90s is next, because you played the 80s, back when I was in the 90s, the 60s nostalgia was a thing, and then the 70s nostalgia became a thing in the early 2000s. So it's like the natural progression is the 90s is next. And the trailer didn't make me go, hey, I really got to see this movie. I was already on board with seeing the movie based on how I felt about the last one. But the trailer definitely left me with some questions that I guess that's what it was supposed to do, is leave me with questions in which I was seeking the answers by watching said film, which I'm going to do. So you win, Wonder Woman 84. Well played.
Now, based on this new trailer and stuff, my excitement level is about the same. It was never, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably about a 7. Was I going to see the movie? Yes. Gal Gadot is very, very good looking to me. She's one of those actresses. Well, I won't watch anything she's in just because the way she looks. I'm more willing to sit through crappy movies. I'm like, it's Gal Gadot, whatever. But I hope Wonder Woman 84 doesn't have to be that film. Now, with that being said, this trailer, the first trailer that came out, kind of bring a little bit of legitimacy to the leaks that came out a few months ago, back in November, actually, because it was based off of a test screening. And if the test screening as well as the film fall in line with the leaks, well, then I think this movie's going to kind of suck. And if this movie does shit the bed somewhere, do you think it'll set any of the female-led action films back, or do you think it'll set any of the DC films back, if so at all?
It depends on the level of suck. If it's like wow, like we were honeydicked or whatever, and this is like a fucking 180, then people are gonna be like, yeah, fuck DC. I don't think they're gonna give Wonder Woman be like, oh, it's a female-led superhero movie. We're gonna shit on it. No, I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna see it as a DC movie first, and they're gonna blame DC, because the first Wonder Woman, like we said, was not woke, and it was actually really good. And she worked together with the guys really well, and it was a nice movie. As opposed to Captain Marvel, but we won't get into that. But with this, I think if this shits the bed hard, they're going to blame DC a lot for what happens. But that depends about it, being that much of a shitty movie. From the trailer, from the current trailer, I've seen it looks interesting. I'm interested in watching it. I hope it's good. So we'll see. I can't really say anything now because I haven't seen it, but yeah, I'm still interested in watching it, and I hope it's good. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, I mean, if it bombs hard, yes, then it's gonna affect it. Or if it's just like, 10 pounds of suckage in a 5-pound bag, yeah, that'll fuck up the DC EU and set them back. But I'm hoping against hope that that's not the case.
Now, with that being said, do you think they're going to use COVID as an excuse if this movie underperforms?
Oh yeah,
I think everybody's planning on using COVID as an excuse if the movie's underperform.
Yeah, even Bill and Ted, they can use that excuse. Tenet can use that excuse. Any movie that comes out this year can use that excuse. So
I just hope
the ready-made excuse just right there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad Bill and Ted's doing what they're doing, but I mean, I can't wait to watch it.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to talk about, there are 3 more big, well, actually there's more than 3, but we're going to move on to the Justice League Snyder Cut stuff because we're saving the Batman for the main event. So if you're watching thinking, when are they going to get to that? Well, just keep watching. We're going to cover that. We're going to talk about all this new Suicide Squad stuff. And, but first, let's talk about the Justice League Snyder Cut. So you guys saw the trailer, correct?
Yes.
What did you guys think?
Not that much of a difference, really.
Right. Yeah. It was like, I was going to say it's kind of the same thing. It's like, okay, well, I mean, you piqued my interest when you said there was a Snyder Cut, and now you're showing me what the Snyder Cut's supposed to be. And while my interest is still naturally piqued because I want to see how different the movie was, it didn't really do a whole lot for me to go, holy shit, I cannot wait for this. It's now just like, well, when it comes out, I'll catch it.
It's okay. So first off, they have announced from DC Fandome that this is going to be broken down. It's 4 1-hour specials.
Jesus.
So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it's 4 1-hour films.
I feel a lot better about it than it would be if it was just 4 hours. Just here it is in one big chunk. I mean, telling me that it's 4 1-hour specials, it's like, okay, I can handle that a lot better. It's like I can watch it in an hour at a time, and I don't feel like, I'm sitting down and I have to cancel my entire afternoon plans because I'm investing it all into this one fucking movie today.
Yeah. So, with this film coming out, it's going to set up that there's multiple Earths because the DC film boss, Walter Hamada, notes that one Earth is Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller of The Flash, etc. And the other version of the world is the Bat-Pat. So it's official that this is the DC multiverse. The Justice League Snyder Cut either may have opened up the possibility or it might have been there already. I think DC's in a situation where they're going to, we've always planned for these things. Unlike Marvel, who actually had a plan. I do not believe Marvel made up their shit. I believe they're like, we know how to get to the Avengers. And then once they got to the Avengers, they knew how to get to Avengers Endgame because Thanos. So I know they had this big overarching plan. DC is writing by the seat of their pants. And I got to say, I kind of like it because we're getting the zaniest shit that you would have never pictured in a million years getting made. And I'm excited. I'm really excited.
And I think, and I think right now, after the big, fucking nut shot from Marvel with Endgame, we need zany shit. We really need that.
Right.
Because we need things that are out of the box, and as Jeff said, Jeff, if you said constantly, we need crazy crossovers. We need Hollywood to take some more fucking risks. It's basically what we need. And I think announcing the Snyder Cut and having it be a thing was a good risk because people are just like, what the fuck is it? And we need to see this alternative cut of this movie. It's insane. Let's do it. So yeah, they needed this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I mean that would explain the Batman toys I saw at the Walmart the other day, where it was Batman. It said multiverse. I'm like, huh, all right then. So Coincidence, maybe, or they knew what they were doing, and they're like, "Well, let's go ahead and throw these out there at the same time that Fandome comes out." But the hell, they could have been out longer than that. I don't know. I don't follow toys that closely, but yeah, we definitely need something out of the box. I mean, when they're flying by the seat of the pants, you don't know what you're gonna get. It's just, we could get a serious movie, and then we could get like, a Shazam, off the wall fun movie. So it's like, I'm in. I want DC to succeed. I've been wanting DC to succeed for a while. And for a while there, it looked like they were going to do everything they could to get in their own way and shoot themselves in the foot. But then, Wonder Woman was good. Justice League was not as bad as I was fully expecting it to be. And, Aquaman was a lot of fun. So it's like, well, where do we go from here? And I'm excited to see where they go from here.
As am I. I mean, I've been saying for quite a while that this is DC's game to lose, meaning the only person that's going to cause them to fail is themselves. Because right now, they have the whole world in the palm of their hand. Nobody's talking about Marvel movies. What do they got?
No,
planned?
they shot their wad. They're done.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they had their big, blow off thing. So yeah, you're right when you say it's DC's game to lose, because the ball is completely in their court and there's really nobody playing defense in front of them right now.
Yeah, it's 100% agree. They should. I think they should take their time. They should not do the Marvel thing where they release 3 movies a year. They need to release them once every 18 months. Take their time, make them good, make them the best movies they can be, and then release them.
Yeah,
do it like we used to do in the old days, where one would come out every couple of years, or at least at the very most every 18 months. Do that, so we're not like saturated the way we were with Marvel. We're just like, fucking get to the end already. Come on, let's go.
Right.
Have us wanting more.
Thank you. Leave us wanting more.
Yeah.
So officially from this Joe Blow, which has got all the official stuff from the Snyder cut, here are some notes from the trailer. Now, folks, obviously with all the copyright issues, we can't show you everything here. So go watch the trailer, but this is our take on it. That's what you guys are here for, actually. So these are some notes from Joe Blow. It's set to Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, a song Snyder previously used in his version of Watchmen. I hate this song. I thought it kind of made the trailer seem cheesy. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I was right there with you. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, having Hallelujah in a movie, in a trailer like that is kind of it's you're putting it up on a weird pedestal. And it seems like I don't know. It's a really weird thing that they're doing with that song, and I don't like it.
No one's used it right since Shrek.
Yeah, exactly. Like they could have used any song and slowed it down and whatever to it, but they chose that one. I don't know. Whatever.
Now, let's see. It says it's also very serious looking compared to the Justice League we got, or at least a much more contemplative film, heavier on drama than action, although there's both. Now, that's the first thing that scares me, because Zack Snyder's brand of drama isn't actually that gripping or compelling. It's he thinks he's an intellectual Michael Bay, but in reality, he's just like Michael Bay. And there's nothing wrong if that's the type of film you're trying to make. Not everything needs to be a Nolan Batman. Sometimes you can just have a crazy balls to the wall action flick set in the DC universe. Now, have we had that good in a while? Not really. I think the DC film universe could use a John Wick equivalent, maybe some kind of crazy Deadshot movie where literally Deadshot's just John Wick.
No, and cool. Oh yeah. Just I would love that, because I know little to nothing about Deadshot, and I mean, if that was the case where he's just an assassin going around, killing people, I mean, that sounds like a good fucking time to me. Because once again, those John Wick movies made money, and they put very little money into it, and the returns are huge. So I mean, people want it. They want it, and I think DC needs to start doing the R-rated movies. Like not everyone needs to be R-rated, but like give us once in a while, give us an R. Like if Deadshot were supposed to be one, R-rated Deadshot, because I think you're missing that crowd, and the adults want shit now too. Because I mean, look at Joker, look at Deadpool movies. They've made a lot of money, and there is money there there are people there who want to spend money on things like that, that are a little dirtier, a little grittier, a little bloodier. They want that, they want that kind of entertainment. So
yeah, the president of Warner Brothers, DC Films, also says there's more Elseworld films on the way, and they use an image of Joker. So I mean, you can't ignore a $1 billion film that cost $55 million to make, that won Best Actor at the Academy Awards. Warner Brothers isn't that stupid to ignore it. I think Warner Brothers is here to say that superhero films are no longer kiddie fair. Now, you can, Kendo, you brought up the Batman figure and stuff. I want this to be DC tonally accurate without trying to be overtly too, like a scene kid, like an emo kid. Oh, I'm trying to draw attention to how dark I am. No, if you're going to be dark and disturbing, do it naturally like you did in Joker, because there are points in that movie where you feel bad for him. He does terrible things. Like you're conflicted. Yes, a good black and white hero versus villain story works for Superman. It works for other characters. But I think DC right now is going to show, if done right, they'll show that they are the dark balance to Marvel's overtly funny and sometimes stupid films. I mean, I'm not changing my tone just because I'm all of a sudden excited for DC. I'm saying that I progressively had less and less interest in the MCU. I was only waiting to see how it ended because they hooked me all those years ago. I mean, realistically, a couple of those films are just throwaway, forgettable films. You could look at, I like Doctor Strange as a film. You could watch Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, and understand Doctor Strange's powers and what he's doing. That's it. I mean, yes, it builds, but at the end of the day, it was a little filler. So let me read a little more of the notes from this Snyder cut. Its aspect ratio is full IMAX, so it'll be window boxed on most TVs. So that'll be. It's kind of sad because I want to see what it would have looked like on the big screen. Maybe one day they'll release a 4-hour edit in theaters. Let's see. Finally, Iris West makes a long-awaited appearance. There's more of Ray Fisher's Cyborg and his father, played by Joe Morton, a.k.a. Miles Bennett Dyson. There's a meeting between Lois Lane and Amy Adams. Or Lois Lane, played by Amy Adams, and Martha Kent. There's more between Aquaman and Mira. Amber Heard. There's a fresh look at Darkseid and Steppenwolf. And Superman wears his black suit throughout.
Ooh.
So that's going to be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, with what we're saying with Marvel, with them being like very, very childish and the way they were doing stuff, I mean, that's fine for general audiences and making money and, that what they were doing. But I think DC needs to go more adult and grittier, but not necessarily darker story, but not darker colors. You don't need to be, you don't need to be like fucking Nolan's Batman where it's like grays and blacks and things like that. You can be colorful and still be adult, like Deadpool, for instance. Mm-hmm. You can do that and still be an adult movie. You don't need to make this fucking like I was saying, a scene kid movie where it's like, oh, look at me, I'm dark, and like do that shit. Like you can still make a wide color palette movie and still be adult. You can do that. And I think that's where DC needs to go. They need to take it to the next level, treat us like fucking adults, not kids anymore, and make some really solid content. And once again, take their time, make it good.
Yes. Do it right.
Go ahead, Kendo, if you had something you wanted to add.
No, I was just adding on to the make sure you're doing it right. That's the important thing.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm willing to wait for good movies. I'd rather you not do 3 a year. I'd rather you do one every 18 months or every couple of years and make it solid. I will wait. It's fine.
Same. The waiting game is not the issue. I just want to go and leave the theater, hopefully, fulfilled. That's
fulfilled and wanting more. That's really the way I want it to go. I want them to go. Like, just do that. But once again, make it good.
Now, real quick, while we're on Justice League, because we're going to use another Justice League transition in a moment, but Warner Media has launched the investigation into the production of the Justice League. Now, you guys heard about Ray Fisher calling out Joss Whedon a couple of weeks ago, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little more. So now, apparently, Warner Media has launched an investigation, and this is the tweet from Ray Fisher, a.k.a. Cyborg. He says, after 5 weeks of interviews with various cast and crew, Warner Media has officially launched an independent third-party investigation to get to the heart of the toxic and abusive work environment created during Justice League reshoots. This is a massive step forward. I believe this investigation will show that Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, John Berg, and others grossly abused their power during the uncertainty of AT&T's merger with Time Warner. Thank you, AT&T and Warner Media, for making strides to ensure a workplace for all. A equals E, or A is greater than E. I don't know what that means, but
yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting because the behind the scenes, because like he says, abuse during the reshoot. So this is Zack Snyder right now is their golden boy. A lot of people are looking at the Snyder cut is this great thing. It's this, it symbolizes them listening to fans. It symbolizes unmade films getting a little bit of money thrown at them to finish. It represents a lot of things. And right now, the way this is all worded, I think you can launch the investigation, you can get information, you can get to the truth. And I still think the Snyder Cut will walk away completely untouched and unscathed, because the narrative that I think DC is going to build is going to basically be to throw Joss Whedon under the bus, because one, he made the Justice League bad the way, they're going to frame it as he's the reason why your movie's shitty, along with Jeff Johns and John Berg. Also, it's going to show how he's just an asshole on set, and they're going to use that to justify ignoring that cut.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny because every nerd praises Joss Whedon for Firefly. Like, oh, he did Firefly, he did Buffy, he did Dollhouse, he did all these wonderful, wonderful things. I'm like, yeah, he's good at having 5 people on screen and directing them properly and doing the shots. He's really good at that.
Doesn't give you a free pass for everything.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. And I mean, it doesn't give him a free pass, but still, and finding out he's a piece of shit, I think was the funniest thing ever, because I was like, oh, go figure. And he was a big piece of shit, like almost Harvey Weinstein level, but not quite, like almost. It was just hilarious.
There's more consent.
Yeah, there's more consent, but I mean, still, there's he was still doing shitty things.
Yeah.
So.
Now, to change topics, though, but keep it in here, at the end of the article, at the end of this panel with Zack Snyder talking about the Justice League, it included people like Ben Affleck and Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller and stuff, Gal Gadot. But at the end, Patty Jenkins asked Snyder a question about, what can we expect, looking for a hint. And Snyder answered with, you're going to see something of the Flash in this film you haven't seen before, noting it had something to do with traveling through time and space. Now, this is one of the more interesting things that DC is doing, because they're beating Marvel to the punch in a public way, meaning we've known that Doctor Strange was going to be a part of the multiverse of madness for months, maybe even a year. Actually, last year they announced it.
Yeah.
But they haven't moved forward. I think Disney made the same mistake with Endgame that Mark Hamill made with Star Wars, where they rode out the high. They weren't looking to, Harrison Ford moved on to projects right away. After Star Wars, he's he's in, Force 10 from Navarone, Hanover Street, Heroes, all kinds of really shitty movies that you've never seen, but he kept working. Mark Hamill did shows and stuff and then showed up in Star Wars. That was not the next thing he ever did, but that was the next big thing he did. Harrison Ford hustled, and that's why he ended up being what he was. Disney made that mistake where they focused on Avengers Endgame so much. They're only worried about the narrative of making it the biggest film ever. And yes, it made a bunch of money. They didn't have to fudge those numbers. But what they did is they didn't think about long term. They just showed you a couple pictures and, it's going to be great because Taika Waititi makes jokes and shit. But DC's like, yo, hold my beer. Here's proof, and here's what we're going to do. So this Flash panel with the multiverse stuff, I'm not a personal fan of Ezra Miller's Flash, outside of him beating up a woman in a bar in Iceland, which has nothing to do with my take on his Flash. Just, I don't love the way he runs. He's a little too quirky, but the shit that he's going to connect with the multiverse is probably going to be more interesting than him.
Yeah, it seems like they wanted to write Spider-Man for Flash almost, and that's what the aesthetic they were going. And I'm just like, you can't do that because Flash is not that character. He's not Spider-Man. You can't make him this quirky high school kid who's just kind of like, oh, gee, golly gosh, man, high school sucks. Like, no, that doesn't work. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, if you look closely, guys, at the screen, you'll see a picture of the Flash and Batman. Correct?
Correct.
Now, if we zoom in a little more on Batman, look who it is.
Over and hence.
Look closely at that cow, Kendo.
Enhance.
What?
Enhance.
Look at Batman.
Oh, yeah, enhance. Good.
Look at Batman's cow.
I'm looking.
It's Michael Keaton.
Oh, it's Keaton.
Look at the bat symbol. Look at the gauntlets on his wrists.
Oh,
shit.
shit.
That is the Michael Keaton suit. Now,
oh, shit.
People are like, Jeff, how do you know? Well, two things. One, I know the suit. very well.
Yeah, you and Dion know that suit very, very well, I'm sure.
And second, on top of that, we know what Batfleck looks like. We know that he's Batman in this film.
Yeah, Batfleck is like the lineman of the Batman series. Like he's the bulky one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's Keaton. I'm excited.
Now, there's a little bit of news from this. So this is about the Flash trailer, or the Flash film that's coming out. So this is what we learned about from the Flash. So first off, it's a time travel film with Christina Hodson, who's the writer, mentioning Andy threw a bunch of DC tidbits into it, hoping that maybe he'd get a job years ago. So that's basically what she's trying to say, is the movie It has DC Comics references because he was trying to get this job, which is kind of cool. The writer Hodson mentioned that she fell in love with the Flash when reading Flashpoint. He's the only character that could, in a way, travel back and save those he loved, which makes him different than the other DC characters who've experienced loss, like Batman. Guys, I recommend that you read the Flashpoint not the Flashpoint Paradox, that's the movie. Watch the Flashpoint Paradox, but read Flashpoint from DC Comics.
Okay, so I think the cartoon's on HBO Max, and I think so it's just the Flashpoint Paradox. Is it one comic, or is it like a series of comics?
The series called Flashpoint is 5 books.
Okay,
but there are miniseries and spin-offs. I recommend you read them all if you can get your hands on them. You don't have to read them for the movies or anything. I just think you might like them because they're interesting.
Gotcha.
Like in the alternate universe, Martha Wayne is the Joker. And Thomas Wayne is Batman.
Huh. What? All right, you sold me on that.
I won't tell you anymore, but Thomas Wayne is pretty baller. And here's a little sneak preview for the end of the story. Something happens which makes the real Batman shed a tear. So, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see. Everyone agrees that Miller was born to play the role. That sounds like fluff. Ezra Miller mentions that the film opens the door in a way that all the characters from various DC Universe properties can now interact. Clips from everything from the 89 Batman to HBO's Watchmen were shown, so the possibilities are limitless. Now, I'm a little worried when I read that, guys, because how long do you think it's going to take for them to basically throw their shame out the window and CGI Frankenstein Christopher Reeve Superman?
They better not do that. I will say that is the one thing that'll get me to turn on them so fast, is if they park in Christopher Reeve in there.
Yeah, if they CG him in there immediately, like I'll just be like, fuck you, I'm out immediately, because that's pretty much pissing on his grave at that point. And I love the man. The man was awesome. He will always be my Superman all the way through. And if they CG his face, I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't care if they get permission from the estate or his kid or whatever. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen either.
Yeah. It's always a bad idea. And that's the one thing that bothers me about this type of stuff, is the idea that they can go and take these dead actors and put them in things. It's like, no, don't do that. Just don't do. I know it sounds like it might be fun, but just don't do that.
Yep, that's how I feel. Don't do it.
Yeah, especially with Christopher Reeves. I mean, and his legacy and everything he's done, and what he had to go through in the last few years of his life. Like, just don't do it. It's not going to be good.
Yeah. Now they do say that they're trying to make the suit more classic. I think that's going to be another thing that DC changes up, because for the last almost 7 years, so close to 10 years, DC has tried to differentiate themselves so much from Marvel that they've even made their characters look like otherworld versions of their own characters. So Superman looks like Superman, but just slightly off-brand. Batman looks pretty good. Wonder Woman looks pretty solid too, but you get these other characters like the Flash. Cyborg's pretty solid. Aquaman, not so much. But I think they're going to use this. Basically, this is all one big universe reset for DC. And I think they're going to use it to follow the Marvel approach to make the characters look more comic book-like. So you're going to see a more traditional Flash. I bet you the new Superman costume for the film down the road has the red trunks. And I have something that talks about why I think that's the case in a little bit. But it's an interesting new direction for DC. And for the last part about the Flash film, I'll say, Miller's quoted as saying he wants the Flash to meet Nicolas Cage. No, not Nicolas Cage as Superman in the abandoned Tim Burton film, just Nicolas Cage himself.
What? What? That's your like your top of the mountain is fucking meeting is the Flash meeting Nicolas Cage. That's your goal. Shit, dude, you don't know how to shoot very far, do you?
Now,
what the hell?
Aim higher.
Yeah, aim way higher. Also, I mean, when you said time travel and the Flash, I mean, can't Superman do that? I mean, he did it in a movie. I don't know if that's something he did in the comics, but he did it in the movie. So I don't know how that would.
That's stupid in the comic books. I mean, they rebooted Superman just to unpower or depower him a bit.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know. I don't know if he has the time travel ability in the comics either, or what the deal is. Because I know he did it in the movie, and I think that's part of what he can do. Because he spun the world back to take it back to before Lois died or something. I think, and he saved
her. Do you think that? Crap! I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I did. Do you think Michael Keaton's Batman is just going to be a selling point, or do you think he'll actually play an important role in the film where we're going to see him out there? Let me rephrase it like this. Do you think there's going to be enough Batman from Michael Keaton to get people hooked, but so much that it's going to disappoint him that it's not him on film the entire time and that we're stuck with the Flash? You think that'll be the case?
Yeah, I think. I mean, they're going to show it in the trailer really quickly. They're going to show a few seconds of it, and then in the longer trailer, they're going to show like half of it. And then when we go watch the movie, it's going to be him like passing through that universe real quick and then leaving. And we're not going to get enough of it. And I think it's going to be honey dick. Which if Deanna here would say that it was going to be a total honey dick. I think is what they're going to do. I hope not, but I think that's what they're going for.
Sadly,
unfortunately. I'm thinking so too, just because I was gonna say, unfortunately, I'm thinking so too, just because just the whole age thing. Michael Keaton's in his 60s, so it's not like they can have him going out and being Batman for any extended period of time, just because that's not how it works when you get older. So I feel like we could be dealing with the honey dick of, oh man, Michael Keaton is Batman, this is gonna be so awesome, and then it's like Flash running through, it's like, hi Batman, and then just runs out, and Mike Keaton's like, what the fuck?
I do think of all the stuff we've talked about and maybe will talk about, I think this could reach the highest of highs, but I also think this could reach the lowest lows in terms of film. Like the Snyder cut, we already know what we're going to get. Yeah, it's just going to be, it's like the Donner cut. It's different, but it's still, the outline, the story. With this film, I think it's the biggest unknown variable because we have yet to have a time travel superhero film with future ramifications. And people are thinking, well, what about Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home? Yo, folks, they blew past that in the first 5 minutes of the film. They were like, oh, we're back and you're all 5 years younger. The rest of the world grew. You're still kids. And that's it. They'll never touch on it again. Black Widow takes place in the past. See, Endgame made Marvel all that money, and it will always be the highest grossing superhero film, but it killed their franchise moving forward because there's nowhere to go with their A-list characters. What have we talked about so far? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash. All A-list characters over at DC. And we're going to continue to talk about other characters and building the universe and expanding it. But we have A-list characters. A-list characters are gone from Marvel. People are like, what about Spider-Man? He's their number one star. You've called him the Mickey Mouse of Disney or Marvel so many times. Yes, I have. But he's also co-owned, rights-wise, from Sony. So there's always that factor. Captain Marvel, I don't care what it made at the box office. She's not a cultural phenomenon. Black Panther, not a cultural phenomenon. Those are characters that have been around for decades. They wane in popularity depending on what's done with them. There are only a handful of Marvel characters. There's only a handful of characters in general that really push the trends. Or not push the trends, but buck the trend of becoming irrelevant. Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, those characters are evergreen. Same with Wonder Woman. Flash, I won't say that because there was a point in time where he was just whatever. But, this film could suck the hardest of them all. But I want it to be the best.
Yeah, I mean, I want it at most. Give me 15 minutes of Keaton. That's all I'm asking. 15 minutes.
Same.
Of Keaton. I'm not asking for like half the movie. 15 minutes in and out, and then that's it. I think that'll satisfy the fans. Of course, you'll be people will be like, oh, he's not in there long enough. 15 minutes not long enough. It's like, no, 15 minutes is enough for him to to develop, or at least him talk about what needs to be talked about, and then go into the next thing.
What I'm most interested in is, and this is very shallow on my end, I just want to see how much Michael Keaton Batman merchandise we can get.
Hey, I am right there with you because, like I said, I brought up that multiverse Batman thing, that I saw at the store, and it didn't look like an exact Batman that figure that I could recognize and say that's so and so as Batman. But if the plan is to give us a bunch of like Batman merchandise now, and they're going to release like Michael Keaton looking Batman figures, that's I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh shit, I want a Keaton Batman and another Keaton Batmobile. I've already got one from 1989. I need another.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think if they're going to. I think if they're going to invest time to do the toys, he's going to be in there longer. Because if they're going to make toys of him and he's going to only be in there for like 3 minutes, that is fucking horrible, and people are going to be really pissed off immediately.
Oh, I know.
Oh, they'll still buy the toys though.
That's true, but I mean, they're going to be less likely to buy the toys if he's only in there for 3 minutes.
Dude, if he's in there for just like 15 seconds, I'll be like, God damn it! All this hype and excitement only for 15 seconds. Oh, by the way, here's the Batman multiverse, Michael Keaton toy and matching Batmobile. I'm like, oh fuck, I need this.
God damn it, Kendall, you're right.
Oh, I'm buying it, no matter what. Yeah. So, we're gonna talk about one more DC film before we transition into something else. We still have the Batman. Don't worry, folks. We got a lot to say about the Batman. Now, when we started to grow was probably right after Ghostbusters 2016. Yes, you're thinking, folks, but the Star Wars content, Jeff, what about Star Wars? Yes, our Force Awakens review was awesome. It didn't really help us grow the channel. All it really did was help us. Well, it helped. Look, it brought you us, and brought us to you, and that's all that matters. It's a huge success.
Yeah.
But one of the first films we covered that was looking like a dumpster fire and definitely delivered as said dumpster fire was a little film called Suicide Squad.
Oh,
we all hated. Now, there is a trend in Hollywood. If you don't succeed, try again. And if you don't try, just fucking jam it down people's throats.
Yeah, and if you keep wasting money, just keep wasting more money and make more of these movies because there's nothing else you can do.
Right.
So we have a brand new Suicide Squad film. That's all I can say is yeah. Now let's start off with the positives. This poster is fantastic. I got a little bit of it shown on screen. Folks can search it out on Google for the entire one. Content dependent. This is a poster I would not be ashamed to own. Seriously, I'm not trying to
look cool.
Yeah, it does look very like 1970s Vietnam.
It looks
kinda.
A-Team.
Yeah, it looks very old school, and I'm down with that. So yeah, if I find the poster, I might buy it. I might buy 4 of them. Who knows?
Huh.
So
I like the way you operate.
Yeah, man.
But I'm trying to show the poster. Here we go, right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's the full Monty right there. James Gunn film tagline. Boom. The Suicide Squad.
Man, I don't know. James Gunn's always eh.
I like some of his movies and stuff. I'm not a James Gunn like fanatic, and I'm not even basically, folks. I'm giving you my take on James Gunn outside of his tweets. I'm not using that to quantify how I feel about James Gunn films. I just think it's important to a conversation, but not the conversation we're currently having right now. So down in the comments, you can tell us what you think about James Gunn, and if you know what, that's an interesting comment to make. Are you going to support this film based on James Gunn's previous tweets? Up to you. No judgment, yes or no. I don't care. I want to hear what you guys think. Like I said, judgment free. Now, there's a bunch of information from the Suicide Squad. This is the one I think they showed the most of because they have to do right with Suicide Squad film. They've already done one, and it made money, but in the public eye, it's a failure of a franchise. The follow-up, Birds of Prey, was an actual flop. No one gave a shit about that movie. So we're getting more Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, which I guess is more of a good thing.
Yeah, but, yeah. I mean, well, once again, as long as she's scantily clad, I think we're all happy with that. I don't want to see her in these crazy outfits they had her in Birds of Prey and just having a story that goes nowhere for 90 minutes. So
it is a selling point.
So what I'm going to do is, I hate that I have to use the Mary Sue, but it's actually the best reference for this right now. I'm going to show you guys all the characters and all the actors who are in the new Suicide Squad film. So first off, we have Michael Rooker, aka Yondu, as Savant.
That's that's a little fucked up, but all right.
Hey, well,
Very on the nose. He looks like Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, he does. He looks like Tommy Wiseau, but like 90-year-old Tommy Wiseau.
So like he actually is, because that's how old he is. He's just a vampire. So up next we have Flula Borg as Javelin.
Oh my god.
I don't even know who the fuck this guy is.
I feel like we're getting into like Mystery Men territory.
I was going to say the boys, but yes, I see it.
Yeah, this feels like Mystery Man territory, which I'm okay with. I love Mystery Man. I wish that was his own universe. I wish they would do that and make a very comedic superhero movie. Which, I mean, you know, they tried doing that with the Tick, and apparently nobody watched it, which I think is bullshit.
You know, I think we're getting set up for a superhero future where the Tick can be successful if Amazon gives it another shot. Because I think the best superhero stuff isn't coming from Marvel anymore, and I don't think it has for a while. I give it the Tick and the Boys as two of the things that I've been just blown away by how good they are.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So Javelin is a former German Olympic athlete who turned to a life of crime, and yes, he uses Javelin-based weapons, so that's easy to pass.
Oh, God.
Now, I don't even know.
What the fuck?
This is David Dast Malchian as Polka Dot Man.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right? Failed party clown, maybe? I don't. That's okay.
He uses spots and dots to craft his high-tech weaponry and his signature flying saucer. We're excited to see his goofy antics on the big screen.
Oh, God damn it. All right. I mean, that's hilarious.
This might be...
Alrighty.
If this is as self-aware as it sounds, this might be amazing. Or it could be like the last Suicide Squad. We have Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2. So I guess...
Where's the first one?
Yeah, exactly. Is she the original daughter of the original Ratcatcher Otis Flanagan? Or maybe she's just a big Willard fan? I don't know. But her superpower is to train Gotham's rat population.
Oh, God.
So she's the Pied Piper.
Character, so
yeah, she's the Pied Piper.
She's the Pied Piper of Gotham.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Now up next we got Idris Elba as Bloodsport.
Of course I got Idris Elba. I was wondering what he was gonna be. Jesus.
At least they got Idris Elba. I mean, the dude is just starving for work. And
well, I mean,
nobody will put him
in
anything.
I'm sure he gets delivered a crate of scripts, a day. He's gonna read them all to make sure he can do, 10 movies a year or something.
Now,
which is a shame too, because he's actually a really good actor.
No, he really is.
Everybody wants him shoehorned into everything. It just gets to the point of going, seriously, Idris Elba doesn't need to be in every fucking movie.
Now, to put this to bed for anyone out there that says this is a race-swapped character, now we are opposed to the wokeness, enemies of the woke, but there are two different Bloodsport DC characters. There is a black one named Bobby Dubois, and there's a white one named Alex Trent. So there is precedent for a Bloodsport who is black, and you guys can look that up. It doesn't say which is which. Steve Aggie is King Shark. Now this one was interesting. I saw the trailer, all the stuff behind the scenes, and apparently Kendo, remember our friend Ron Funches, aka friend of Kendo or Conrad and Bruce and all those guys?
Yeah,
he does the voice of King Shark in the Harley Quinn cartoon.
Yes, yeah. I've seen. Once again, I love that cartoon, and his voice and his whole character is hilarious because he's a very nerdy character, and he's like, I hate blood, man, I hate blood, and you really, he's a shark, and you know what happens when they smell blood. So
I'm disappointed that they didn't actually go get the wrestler Shark Boy to play King Shark. That would to me would be the best thing because I am a Shark Boy Mark, and I would have fucking loved it if it's so like King Shark played by Shark Boy. I'd be like, yes. You can't go get John Tenta and have him reprise his wrestling role as the Shark because the man has passed on. But Shark Boy is still out there. They missed opportunity here. I'm dead set against the movie now.
Well, there's more. We have
justice for Shark Boy.
We have Mei Ling Ying as Mongol. Wait, Mongol's a woman now?
Huh?
Yep, there it is.
Oh, I thought Mongol was a dude. What the? Wait, seriously? Let me look this up real quick. Because I'm just like, wait, Mongol DC Comics, I thought he was a dude.
I don't know.
Oh, never mind. Mongol is the name of 2 fictional supervillains that appear in comic books published by DC.
Okay.
So there is a woman version, and there is the old school one that I'm thinking of.
All right. Well, the woke meter's going back down. So we're back down to like nearly 0 on the woke meter.
Well, I'm not here to make excuses for said films yet, but it does seem like instead of doing the old, we're going to race and gender swap everything, we'll just find a female version to adapt and put that in the film.
Which is fine.
I support that.
Yeah, I mean, it is Suicide Squad. We're not asking for Oscar-worthy shit here. As long as it functions, I think we're okay.
Now, this is interesting. Peter Capaldi, a.k.a. the 12th Doctor, who's playing mind control, the Thinker, who has mind control capabilities. I think it looks pretty cool.
Okay. Sure.
That works.
Now we have Alice Braga.
Oh, shit, her, dude. Oh, my God. She's... Whenever they needed, like, a Latina woman, like a strong Latina character to play in movies, they've always, like, tapped on her to do everything. I swear.
Well, we have to pull back our praise of anti-wokeness because this is a gender swap version of Juan Soria. So there we go.
Okay.
All right. So the woke meter's gone up. We're up to like 2.
Yeah. Pete Davidson is
get fucked. God damn it.
That's just a poor choice.
Yeah, he's going to be playing Blackguard, an enemy of Booster Gold. That's Joel's favorite character. So...
Okay, you have this pasty pale white boy playing a character called Blackguard. All right, whatever.
How often do you think he's going to laugh?
Too many times.
Too much.
Yeah.
Well, this is his action film debut. I like Pete Davidson overall, but not here. I got to see it though. I got to see it to be proven wrong. Now here we go.
Shit.
Nathan Fillion is TDK. Original character created by James Gunn. It's supposed to stand for the detachable kid, but TBD is exactly what TDK is and does. So nerd heartthrob Nathan Fillion. What a great way to describe him.
He's a wonderful actor and he's funny as hell on screen. He's really good. So yeah, I'm a little bit excited. A little bit.
Yeah, for Nathan Fillion.
Let's see where it goes.
Here we go. Sean Gunn is Weasel.
God.
There we go. He's wearing a motion capture suit to play another furry fighter, Weasel. Hopefully this time, but his time portraying Rocket Raccoon in the MCU will create another incredible critter counterpart. Now here's the one I'm actually the most interested in so far. John Cena is Peacemaker.
Oh fuck.
I mean, I can't say no. Because as much as I hate John Cena, the cartoony wrestler that he became, John Cena, the guy, actually seems like a really cool person you'd want to hang out with.
And his acting is actually really funny because I think the movie he did where his daughter was going to go like get laid or whatever. He's playing this like he's built like a brick shit house, but he's playing like the fucking nonchalant, like really soft spoken dad. I think it's hilarious.
Right? And he is actually a pretty funny dude.
John
Cena, the person is like a funny guy you'd want to hang out with.
Yeah, and I want to see his firefighter movie that he did as well because I think that one was pretty funny. But this one once again, there's another point to wanting to watch it. This could be hilarious. So
that line right there at the bottom, it says Cena describes his character as a douchey Captain America. I'm sold.
Oh shit, yeah, that's funny. I might have to watch this.
I think we're getting into a phase of, we've been deconstructing Superman for decades and decades, but we haven't really been doing it on film for decades and decades the way we have over the last, 10 years. Actually, 11. I'll throw Watchmen in there too. Dr. Manhattan. He didn't go to medical school to be called Mr. But Dr. Manhattan and the whole deconstructing of the Superman and the God and stuff. And then you have Homelander over on The Boys, who clearly is an evil Superman. And I'm glad that he's a douchey Captain America, but I think it's gonna be funny to see the altruistic superheroes played for a joke. Now, I love the way Chris Evans does Captain America, and I don't want him to be turned into a joke. But like some of these over-the-top villains, if you play them for laughs instead of trying to turn look it. You can have Bartok the Leaper become Bartok and Winter Soldier, and it's excellent. But if you have a Paste Pot Pete character, Marvel can't really call him something else and make it work. DC seems to be taking the absurd stupidity of it and running with it. So that's outside of Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. That's kind of it for Suicide Squad. Yeah. So I did forget about one thing I wanted to cover, though, when we were talking about the Snyder cut of DC. So now you guys have heard, because you're my friend, about Scott Mendelson and all the stupid videos he makes, or the articles he writes, right?
Oh, yeah. All the time. He's...
Well, dude, Zack Snyder put him in his fucking place on Twitter.
Did he really?
So,
excellent.
Scott Mendelson said, so the trailer for the Snyder cut of Justice League looks like the same movie. Lots of deleted scenes from the marketing campaign, but otherwise it looks like an alternate take of existing scenes. So that's Scott Mendelson's dickheaded take. You want to hear what Zack Snyder has to say?
Yes, we do.
You said you enjoy the theatrical cut of Justice League like you enjoy your Saturday morning cartoons. Well, this is made for grown-ups, so you're not in the demographic. Also, cool of you to comment on a leaked teaser at Scott Mendelson.
Oof. That's a right cross to the jaw.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that Scott Mendelson's getting on a lot of people's shit list, because he deserves it. He writes a lot of horrible articles that just don't mean anything, and it's for what, Forbes or something.
Yep.
Yeah, you write entertainment articles for a financial magazine. Like, where did you go wrong in life?
All I can say is that
people don't buy Forbes to read about entertainment. They buy Forbes for the financial aspect. So you're like an article writer for Playboy. You don't really mean anything.
Yeah. it's like putting a recipe for brownies in a Playboy. Like, nobody cares. You know?
Yeah, nobody's buying it for that.
I may or may have not bought vintage Playboys for the James Bond article, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, that's different.
That's different. You probably still looked at the naked pictures.
Of course I did.
See?
Probably.
It all connects. Look, now, I was offering you a chance there to be able to say, well, I really wanted the article because I'm such a James Bond collector. But you made me proud by saying, yeah, you still looked at the naked ladies.
Dude, as long as they're, adults and willing, I'm interested. So
yeah. There you go.
I just have to put that out there. It's 2020. You know how people are.
Oh yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, believe me. Now, I got something kind of interesting, a quick transition, if you will. So we're talking about how Suicide Squad is this next future. This is what I think DC wants their Guardians to be. They want the Suicide Squad to be their Guardians. So they fucking get the guy who plays or who created. Excuse me. It's really early here. I'm not fucking not crazy. And you get the guy who directed Suicide Squad. Or directed Guardians. There we go. I'll speak right eventually. The guy that directed Guardians 1 and 2 and gave them their flavor is directing Suicide Squad. So you can see that they're leaning in with this brand. Now, one interesting thing that I don't know if you guys are aware of is that there's a Suicide Squad video game coming out.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they're really going, hard.
You sent us a trailer to watch, and I watched it, and I was like, this looks fun. If it's done in a certain way, it could be a lot of fun. So, but here's the thing: that trailer is way better than the Avengers one, where there were just these ambiguous faces. That one, the Suicide Squad one, actually looks like a lot of fun. I kind of want to at least download the demo of that game and see how it is.
Yeah, same here. I watched this and I saw the name Rocksteady, and I went, well, they did the Arkham games, so I kind of trust them. If the tone of this is fun and it's not stupid and it doesn't really shit on, first off, it has to be a good, fun game.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about another superhero video game in just a moment, and I'm less enthusiastic about that one. I forgot to send you guys the article because I didn't even know it existed. But we had the Suicide Squad game, which it seems to be DC's new directive to make Suicide Squad their premier franchise because they effed up Justice League so much. And I don't know if it'll work, but like you said, Nick, you watched this trailer. You thought it looked okay. Kendo, did you get a chance to watch this game trailer?
I did not.
So you can check it out later. It's not going to be a huge focal point of the show. Like you said, though, Nick, you made an excellent point. And I think I'm going to even do a video on this separately, as I'm going to do a Scott Mendelson video separately. So folks who wanted more Scott Mendelson, more of a take on that, don't worry, it's going to happen. But you brought up an excellent point, Nick, about how this game actually looks like it has something unique. The characters don't look so generic compared to Avengers. Now, it's funny how you have a game like this, and you're going to, you have a game like this, The Suicide Squad, which is made from a great A-list developer, just like this Avengers video game. Square Enix is Square Enix has produced bad games, but they also did Final Fantasy, so people are excited and give the Avengers the benefit of the doubt. Rocksteady did the same. They developed the Arkham games, and I would argue that those 3 Arkham games are as good as midline to even some of the best Final Fantasy games.
Well, I think what that is that the Arkham games, like, they're consistently good. Yeah, well, I mean, one or two might be better than the other ones, but in all reality, like, you'd actually go and buy those games and give them your time, as opposed to like some of the games that Square Enix has done where like they've been really, really bad. You know, but with Rocksteady, I think all 3 of those Arkham games are solid. Yeah, once again, like one you might favor one over the other, but overall they're good.
See, I prefer. Thing is, I like Arkham City probably the best, but everyone shits on 3 for being terrible. I don't think Arkham Knight is a bad game. I think it was just too heavy in the Batmobile aspects, but other than that, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Now, the whole Kendo, the premise of this game is the Suicide Squad is going to have to hunt down a very big target. Can you guess who it is? I'm pretty sure you can. Okay, good guess. Nick, would you tell the audience who the villain is?
The villain is Superman. like it's evil Superman or something because of what he does in the video game trailer. I'm just saying, like, oh shit. So yeah, it's I guess it's Darkseid Superman or whatever his evil name is. I forget what they call him. But yeah, that's what seems to happen. So they have to like. And I do like that because it's these kind of not so strong characters trying to go against this god, and it's like, oh fuck, they might die.
Yeah, and I also enjoy that. I know this is a very shallow thing, but we finally moved past the terrible garbage trend of not giving Superman his red trunks. For a decade, it's been so cool. Oh, we want to modernize Superman. We want to make him look. The thing is, modernizing Superman to them was giving him like fingerless glove arm things and taking away his trunks. And this game has the trunks. It was the first thing I noticed. Outside of this other comment, I think Superman looks a little too much like John Cena right here. Kendo, what do you think?
Yeah, a little bit. I could see that.
Nick?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, and I mean that's fine. Also, I mean, I remember when they were when they were revamping Superman for the one movie way back with Brandon, whatever his name is.
Oh, Brandon Ralph,
yeah, and they were like, oh, we're gonna, and like they had a whole press release on the outfit. They kept making it look like it was like the material on like a basketball, that same texture or whatever. It's like different texture and it's painted this way and like this chip paint style, you know, and the red's different, the yellow's different, the cape's different. We're using a different pattern for this. I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Make it a good movie. You know, and they're like, "Oh, no more red trunks." You know, that's old school. It's 50s shit. We're not doing that anymore. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean shit to me. Like, just make a good movie, and it wasn't a good movie, and so it didn't matter.
Well, it's going to be interesting because the Rocksteady games have all performed very well from DC, and there's been these rumors for years about this Superman game from DC. I wonder if you're going to be able to play Superman at some point in this game, because I don't really want to kill Superman. I like the idea of hunting down a super powerful being with less than powerful characters, but at the same time, I just don't really want to hunt down Superman. I love Superman. Fuck, I got that Mayfex Superman coming in the mail.
Oh yeah,
the movies. I like the character. He's up there for me. I don't know. It'll feel weird killing him. It's like playing a Spider-Man game where he's going to die at the end. That's the next one. This is even confirmed. He's going to get killed in the next game by the symbiote, and Miles Morales is going to take over. That's how Peter Parker's going to die. No Eddie Brock Venom. Peter Parker's now Venom. Guarantee it.
Oh God. I mean, I think with this one, I don't think you. I hopefully you don't have to kill him. You just have to like subdue him or like cure him or whatever. Put him in like kryptonite jail for a minute and just figure out what's wrong with him or something. Like even then, like even when you look at Harley Quinn's face, you see a little bit of Margot Robbie in there. And I enjoy the fact that they're not these like ambiguous characters, and like even the trailer was really funny and really good. And it's one of those things like I will, whenever the game comes out, I'm going to download the demo and give it and definitely check it out because I'm really interested to see how the game goes and what the mechanics are and like what do you do and all that other good stuff because it does look fun. The trailer really sold me, and I'm really kind of excited about it now.
Yeah, in this space right here, I know this isn't in-game footage, folks. This is probably a cutscene, but I'm going to show a comparison of the same, in-game footage or whatever. Not in-game footage, but a similar cutscene from the Avengers. And I think the Avengers game suffers from over-engineering or over-design. Like, here we go. Here's a cutscene. Whoever did the model work, everyone wants to argue, well, you guys only hate it because it's not the movie Avengers. Look at Harley Quinn's face. That looks a little more realistic. I mean, look at the texturing on the lips, the hair. That looks like a leather jacket. It looks really good. I don't like the design, but the actual artistic integrity behind it is fantastic. Now let's look at a similarly priced game with a big budget and a big studio, the Avengers. That looks like dog shit to me. That doesn't even look human.
These look like generic ass characters. Like even Iron Man looks like shit. Like how do you make that? Okay, it looks like they got the old 1960s version of Iron Man's like mask on him or something. It's weird. Thor doesn't even look
that
real.
Looks like cutting corners because that the people will buy it just because of the name that's on the front of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Now there was one other game to talk about from DC. I can't believe that we're talking about all this DC stuff, but hey, that's what Fandome is, and that's what replaced Comic-Con this year, folks. So we always do our Comic-Con special. There was no Comic-Con to cover. DC held off on this, and I'll talk about Marvel towards the end of the show, but there's a game called Batman Gotham Knights over on IGN. And I gotta say, for as interested as I was in the Suicide Squad trailer, because it looked kind of cool, this fucking game looks so generic that it hurts.
Oh, God.
I mean, by Warner Brothers Montreal, so they're the team that did the Gotham, or not the Gotham, they did Batman Arkham Origins, which is the only Arkham game I did not play, because why play a lesser version? I want not Michael Keaton, I want Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. If I don't get them, then I wasn't going to buy the game, and I didn't. Now, this is a game called Batman Gotham Knights, but guess what? You don't play as Batman. You play as Batgirl. You play as Robin. You play as the Red Hood and Nightwing, I believe.
What?
So I mean, visually, this looks nice.
What's the point?
Yeah, really. What's the point when it's like having a game called Superman? Superman comes back from his fucking trip to Hawaii, and you don't get to play as Superman. Like, why even have it? Why are you doing that?
That's my thought process exactly. Why? I'm not here to be that guy to nitpick every little detail, but I can't see a reason why you have to make a Batman game unless this is multiplayer. Now, if this is a multiplayer game that is online and one person's Robin, one's Batgirl, one's Nightwing, and you're doing all these crimes together, then I'm on board, and then I'm going to just shut up. But I don't think that's what this is. This looks like more Arkham and without Batman, the part of the game that I buy it for. So It's nice that we have something that misses the mark so royally, so early. And it looks fine. It looks like a PS4 era game. It doesn't look like anything special, but it does look like you can do multiplayer, so that's a little cooler. And
it's probably just you like going missions and button mashing the whole time trying to get to the end. So
yeah, well, folks in the chat, you can tell us what you think about this. There really isn't much else to say about that. Now, it's time for the main event, or so you guys might have thought. Sorry. One more thing before we talk about that.
Damn it, Jeffrey, you're honey dicking the people. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
You know what? I don't feel too bad because I'm honey dicking the people with the people's champ. So we got some test footage.
Oh shit! Really?
Adam finally.
Oh my god! I didn't even know about this until right now. Holy shit!
No, I will say, even though I am The Rock's #1 fan, I don't think he should play back Black Adam. I think he should be playing a bigger superhero. I know The Rock wants to make it his own and really, he doesn't want a character that other people have played. He wants to make it his own and all that stuff. And that's awesome. But let's be honest. And when I say this, I say it from a place of love. The Rock plays The Rock in everything. He's either The Rock on a beach. He's The Rock in a helicopter. He's The Rock with a fake leg in Die Hard. He's The Rock everywhere. He's The Rock in real life. He's The Rock in his sleep. This movie is just The Rock in a fucking cape. Now, with that being said, maybe I haven't seen all the movies in theaters. I still haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw, but I just feel like this is something we've been told about for years, and I just don't care. I never cared, and I still won't in the future. What do you guys think about The Rock as Black Adam?
I want to give it a chance. I really want to give it a chance because I'm interested to see The Rock be a superhero. And yeah, I don't know who Black Adam is, and I kind of like I'm interested. I really want to see it.
Well, he is Shazam's nemesis.
Oh,
so if you liked the movie Shazam, right?
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was actually really good. I was very shocked by it, how good it was.
Now that film was produced by The Rock.
Oh wow!
So if you go back and you watch the movie, it says produced by Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia. That's his ex-wife, who's his manager, and all this shit. They know how to keep money together. Anyway, though. If you're wondering about Black Adam, Nick, or anyone out there, he's an ancient Egyptian predecessor of Captain Marvel who fought his way to modern times to challenge the hero and his Marvel family associates. So, yeah, he's been around since 1945.
Wow.
And then DC brought him back in 1973. So, yeah, The Rock is going to play him. Now, Black Adam in the book has hair, so we're going to get a bald Rock. Again, it's just The Rock in a cape. But we didn't really get a trailer. What we got was a video game cutscene from like the PS2 era where you get mildly animated stuff and The Rock is going to be in ancient Egypt. So it's just like the Scorpion King or Hercules.
Dude, don't mention the Scorpion King. That makes me less likely to watch this now.
Well, I mean, there's the image right there. There he is in his suit.
Oh,
I guess he doesn't have a cape.
He looks so angry.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like Roman Reigns right there, doesn't he, Kendo?
A little bit, yeah.
So yeah, that's The Rock. I mean, not to shortchange him because he is my favorite, but this whole trailer is just, pictures of his fucking face and warped shit. And, he narrates it himself. So there you go, folks. If you're interested in The Rock, this looks so generic. Like I said, Rock, you'll never hear this, but I'm your biggest fan. But this movie looks so dumb. Like,
oh god, I want an actual trailer. Then I might be excited because that drawn one. I mean, like I get what you're doing, but it's like I don't know. I'll probably still check it out though.
I mean, look this. I will pay.
Yeah, we'll wait till there's some actual footage.
What'd you say?
I'll wait till there's some actual footage before I get completely invested.
I just say this. I will spend $500 to go watch The Rock wrestle in person, but I probably wouldn't spend $20 to go watch this movie so far. So. I mean, I don't know what his take of the house gate's going to be, but overall, for as much as I love The Rock, that movie, just whatever. That's all I can say. So now, folks, it's time for the main event. This has gone a little longer than I planned, but hopefully people do watch this and enjoy it. It's time to talk about Batman Year One. Not Batman Year One, excuse me. Yeah, we'll talk about Batman Year One, the greatest comic book ever. No. We're here to talk about The Batman, which is the newest Batman film that will be released next year in 2021. There was a trailer. We have seen what the suit looks like starting back in February. So based on just the initial look at the suit, what did you guys think?
Bleh.
Yeah, not a fan of the suit because it seems like they're trying to mix the Nolan one and the Batfleck one and make something that's the mixture of both or something. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me. They're trying to mix two suits together and it didn't work out. Yeah,
Kendo, anything else you want to add besides bah?
No, not really. Just nothing about it made me go, man, this is gonna be awesome. This looks good. It was just like, man, this looks pretty lame.
Now, would you like to hear the fact or a story that it took a year to design the suit?
What?
Yeah.
Looks like it was put together in 10 minutes.
It does. It looks like hockey pads, literally.
No, it really does.
Yeah.
This is what they have to say about the suit. Now, I think this article right here is just a big excuse to justify that the suit looks like shit. A lot of people don't like it. Oh, we want to go with a new bold take. But you look way more like Nolan's Batman than Affleck's Batman. Like, you've regressed. So anyway, Robert Pattinson's Batsuit in The Batman took roughly a year to design. There are a lot of DC projects on the horizon, but The Batman is undoubtedly one of the most anticipated. Pattinson will take over the role as Bruce Wayne in the new film directed by Matt Reeves. That most definitely is not an origin story, but instead takes place within Batman's second year as Batman. The Batman will also kick off a wider universe on television, with Reeves currently developing a television series centered on the Gotham Police Department. It was only 25% of the way filming when it was shut down because of COVID. Luckily, things are expected to pick up next month, September, and Reeves was still able to appear at the DC Fandome yesterday with some truly exciting reveals. So we'll talk about those reveals now. But yeah, I just wanted to get you guys' take on the suit and let you know that it took a year to design. That's how much time these people have been putting in there, man. A year.
Yeah, I don't think the Batfleck suit took that long to design. I mean, and it's I don't know. I mean, yeah, this one looks like the Nolan one, and they're trying to different. Like it's like they found the old Nolan suit and they tried to, change 10% of it to make it look like it's their own suit, but it's really not. And it's just, I don't know, it doesn't look that good. Even when I saw the Sun guy wearing it or whatever, it still didn't look like distinct enough. You can't even see the symbol of the bat on his chest at all. Like it looks like some hardware is just there, Yeah. So, I don't know.
So, the trailer. There was a trailer for this, or at least footage of it. Kendo, what did you think of the trailer footage that we watched?
It didn't really do much for me. It's my interest in this movie was already low to begin with, and this didn't really move the needle a whole hell of a lot. I'll still watch it, but it's at no point was I like just jumping out at me saying, "You got to see this."
What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, it's, once again, it's Batman again, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, I do like Batman, but I mean, they kind of need to, I don't know, they need to do something different than, I don't know. I'm just kind of frustrated to the normalization of Batman, and I'm just not really happy with it. This doesn't look good. I mean, it looks like a David Fincher film almost. Ooh. The way that they've colored it, the way that they've done some of the shots and everything, because it looks like they're using the color palette from Seven in a weird way. But it looks like we have Selena Kyle, we've got the Penguin, we've got I guess the Riddler. I don't know if we have Joker.
Well, we had that weird gang or whatever.
Yeah, they look like Joker's gang, but I'm not going to say they are. Even then, like Selena Kyle, like she like with that weird like beanie face thing she has, she looks like shit. I'm just like, how do you like the Nolan's one looks better than that? Like, how do you fuck that up? And also him trying really hard to beat the shit out of one guy in the gang looks really bad. I understand this is his second year, but like you should get your technique down good enough to where like it takes 2 punches instead of 18. It looks bad. But yeah, it looks like a David Fincher film to me. It looks like that kind of thing that they're going with. This kind of dark color palette where like this underlying stuff. I guess they're going for like a neo-noir kind of look, which I get. But once again, I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it like crazy or anything. It does look interesting, but it's another Batman movie where they're trying to, reinvent him or something like that. And it's weird that we're having two like almost 3 Batman now in the universe. It's getting weird, and I'm not liking it.
It's bizarre too to see on film like Batman walk into a crowd of police the way he did. I know in the third one, the Nolan trilogy, he fights alongside them and stuff, but like, in the first, and not the first one, but in Batman Begin, I can't even speak. The Dark Knight, excuse me. In The Dark Knight, in the very beginning, when Gordon goes to the bank vault, right after the Joker had robbed it, like all the other cops leave. You don't see Batman with all the cops. He just deals with Gordon and then leaves. So I think it's interesting. A lot of people are saying, well, this is the first film where Batman does detective work. Again, this is the fault of the first, which is what a lot of places try to either do or they try to just let people think they are. We saw Michael Keaton do detective work back in Batman 89. Mm-hmm. Like just because he's looking at a card or some dumb shit or figuring out Joker riddles, again, there's Riddler riddles. We saw that in Batman Forever. Now, I'm not saying that this movie is going to be lesser, but I just don't want this movie to get credit for something that it's not actually doing.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right with that, because I mean it's yeah, and him walking to the crowd of cops, it was weird. It's kind of like he's only dealt with Gordon. He'll only appear to Gordon. Him doing the whole cop thing, especially him being in the cage with the cops and being gets interrogated with him in that cage, and him getting pushed to the side in the trailer is weird. You know, he shouldn't, especially like him being friendly with the cops should happen later in his career, not in the second year.
Yeah,
like
why he's still a vigilante.
Yeah, he's still a vigilante.
At the end of the day, Batman is still a vigilante, and most law enforcement officials don't look too kindly on vigilantism. So, if it's only like the second year of him being Batman, then I can't think that the cops are going to be totally okay with him hanging around.
Yeah, how do you feel about Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon?
Honestly, I'm okay with it. He looks the part.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah. What was it? I mean, I like the guy a lot. I think he's underrated as an actor quite a bit. I'm glad he got to this part. Hopefully, he shows more of his acting chops and gets a little more, a few more jobs out of it.
It's interesting how this is going to be. Again, they want to talk about first. This is a very crime-centric Batman film, but we've had that. I mean, I've called Batman The Dark Knight Heat with Batman in it. So, I mean, this
pretty much.
Well, while I'm not here to dump on this trailer or this film for existing, because I want more Batman films. I don't like the suit, and I'm going to admit it. But I got to say, like, the stuff that people want to build this world up as a first, we saw it 12 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago with The Dark Knight or Batman Begins. We saw the crime bosses. We saw Maroni. We saw him in the whatchamacallit. He was the guy. No, Carbine Falcone is one we saw. Sal Maroni was the Dark Knight. We saw Carbine Falcone go get his, fake his way off of a trial with a insanity plea and all this stuff. Like, we saw the inner workings of Gotham very well before. Now, doesn't mean they can't do it better, but I'm just saying, like, for everyone that wants to keep going, oh, this is new, please shut the fuck up. It's not new.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the 90s Batman films make Gordon look kind of like a dummy, like that old fat guy that got to play Gordon makes him look like kind of an idiot.
Oh, Pat Hingle.
Yeah, and I mean, I get they're kind of, I guess they're trying to copy the old 60s ones, which whatever, that's your own aesthetic, whatever. And the newer ones, Gordon's a little bit smarter, especially having Gary Oldman play him in the Nolan ones. He was a little smarter, he was a little quicker in the draw. And then this one, I think they're trying to kind of give him a little bit more, more character, which is good. But once again, like, just him around the cops and him around big crowds of cops and people is weird. We'll see that, and also the whole thing with like the jet coming out of the car looks like almost like Tron in a weird way. Like, I'm waiting for that synth music to play over it. Like, it's weird. I don't know. I'm hopeful, but I'm cautious.
Now, one thing I do have to say that I really did like from this trailer a lot was I guess the Riddler's the guy that looks like the Zodiac killer at the beginning with the glasses. But everyone to the Batman, like, all these people are going to get killed in this game of Riddler and Batman. And this might be a more serious take on Batman Forever, which, wow, I can't believe that's a thing I actually just said.
Yeah.
But, that could be it. I mean, the whole trailer, it looks like Batman deals with the Riddler, with gangs, with Gotham police, and with Catwoman. Mm-hmm. I hope this is not a stuffed movie where it's overblown, overdone.
Yeah.
You can balance stuff, but not always.
Yeah. I hope this is not like a fan service type of movie where they're just kind of like pushing everything in there. And then at the end, we get like some fucking stinger for Two-Face and Joker or some shit like that. Like, don't do that. Once again, story's key, pacing is key. Just make something good that'll make us want more. That's what we need right now. So far, I think what we've said, what we're seeing in this trailer, we're not getting that. But once again, this is just a trailer, and hopefully, the movie's better. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm even getting a Dark Knight vibe from this because it looks like a fallen cop. They're at a funeral for a fallen cop, and somebody attacks. I mean, that happened in the Dark Knight, remember?
Correct.
Yep.
Gordon faked his death. Joker attacks. I wonder if they're copying some shit. This is the one that I think like has to be the best because Robert Pattinson, everyone says, oh, Michael Keaton got all those terrible letters. You know what? Yes, he did, and it worked out. And everybody wants to say, well, Heath Ledger was the best. Look at what everyone said about him. Yeah, but Jared Leto had the same excuses, and he was dog shit. So
yeah,
past that whole we gotta wait and see. You can judge on a previous actors. You know, like when Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones and Han Solo, it's they're not that different.
No, they're yeah. I mean, for both those characters, I mean, it's just a setting change, really. That's all it is. But yeah, I mean, and Robert Pattinson, I think he's talented. His dramatic stuff is really good. He doesn't get much praise for that because fucking Twilight, but that's his own problem. Those are his own decisions, and he's got to live with that. But I mean, once again, I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I hope it's good, but I don't know.
Yeah, right here we have an image of the Joker gang. I mean, clearly they're going for that. Has to be a Joker gang because look at the smiles painted on their face, eyes. Mm-hmm. So it makes me wonder if this is going to connect to our friend Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, because timeline-wise, that's what 86, and this is like 10 years later. So I mean, it would work out.
Yeah,
that would make what, Batman, like what, 18 almost or something?
No, if he's 10 years old.
Okay, then never. Yeah,
20.
Yeah, 20 then. Okay.
But also too, Warner Brothers is bringing. I haven't seen a bunch of Warner Brothers films lately, but they did bring back their old logo.
Yeah, and one thing I want that will really be the clincher for this movie is that if in the beginning, please do not fucking show the origin story. Do not do that. Do not give me the parents dying at the theater. I don't fucking care. I know that enough. We all know that enough. Don't do it.
Yeah, right. What do you guys think of?
We've seen Thomas and Martha Wayne killed on screen enough times.
What do you guys think of the Nirvana music?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it was a little on the nose, but it doesn't suck. I mean, I don't really think of Batman with popular music. I usually think of the Danny Elfman score or the old funky 60s music.
Yeah. Definitely. It doesn't need a song. It needs a score, basically.
Okay. You're right there. You cut out a little, Nick.
Oh, sorry. No, it needs. Sorry, it needs. It doesn't need a song. It needs a score. Is what it needs.
Yeah. I will give this the benefit of the doubt though, because the Batman '89 trailer had no music in it. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt until I see it.
Yeah.
And there's our first look at the Bat Cave. It looks like a subway tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think at the beginning of the trailer, you see him kind of drive into what looks like, the basement of the living room or whatever, some other building that's underneath hopefully Wayne Manor. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't want it to be, a lesser version of that. So, guys, is there anything else from the DC Fandome event that you want to cover?
I don't think so.
I think we hit everything. Yeah, definitely.
So, I don't think there's anything else to cover. This actually went, Jesus, this went longer than we had planned. This is longer
like an extra show. It's like an extra show built upon an extra show. So you better be appreciative, folks. We gave you like a bunch of shows.
Yeah, Jeff, you may have to cut this into segments or something.
I might see how long it is, but I'm just making sure we didn't miss anything. So we actually, when we say, hey, we're going to cover everything, we covered everything that they announced. So I think it's a good way to end this stream, which is going to be turned into a video. Folks, if you like more roundtable stuff like this, let us know. You can get it every week on Patreon, every couple of days, actually. But if you want more and you can't do Patreon, just watch the videos and help us spread the word. If we can grow the channel and stuff, we can do a lot more stuff. So we do plan on reviewing each one of these films that we covered tonight as soon as they come out. That's kind of what we've always done. So expect those reviews and expect a couple of other things too, some videos based on these topics this week. So basically, just keep your eyes peeled for world-class bullshitters content. We're back in a way that, for a little bit, we needed a small break, did a lot of live streams and shows, but now I got the creative juices flowing, and we got all kinds of exciting stuff planned. So if you're a patron, you already heard the Sunday Hangover, you know the exciting things we have planned. If you're not a patron, what the hell? Join us. It's only, for $5 a month, you get, God, how many hours of content a week, Kendo? A lot, right? Yeah, I mean, you get more here than you do anywhere else, and it helps us directly. So if you like us and you want to help us, that's the best way to currently. But Nick, is there anything you want to add before we go?
No, just make sure, if you're listening to us, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a follow. Make sure you share all of our content because YouTube is weird. And help us out any way you can. We're trying to get up there, trying to get more subscribers, more patrons, more people, so we can do more stuff for you guys and make better content. So because we want to, if you're a longtime fan of us, you want us to have our own sketch show, and we can't do that without finances. So help us out.
Well, what I want to do, what the audience can do the most right now is just help us get to 200,000 subscribers, folks. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell anybody. Give us a subscribe. We want to do our 24-hour stream. So if you enjoyed this hour-long video, well, be prepared for something that's 24 times the length. Plus, you can interact with us here on the channel. So that is our big goal. That, and be on the lookout for all of our fun projects in the meantime. So from all of us here at World Class Bullshitters, and yes, we'll include Dion, even though he's not here, Horse, and all that other fun shit. Can't even speak. Because I thought, Dion's afraid of horses, and I got afraid of scaring my best friend. Not really, I just don't care, it's early. Anyway, folks, from all of us here at World Class Bullshitters, thank you for watching. Good evening, and as always, be excellent to each other.
.com